Okay, so all of the candidates in the fray coming out to cast their vote. Let's focus now on Tamil Nadu, and we'll take this across to our guests also in the studio. We have Raghava Vasti, Rasheed Kidwai and Kaushik Dekar with us in the studio. T.S. Sudhir joining us live from Hyderabad as well. Let's look at Tamil Nadu right now, and there's a lot of talk about really the challenge that the BJP faces, because historically also, if you look at how really the BJP has performed, and remember that this time again the circumstances are very different for the BJP in the sense that yes, they're putting in all of their energy into making inroads in Tamil Nadu, but it's also a big alliance game essentially. And the BJP previously, if you look at their performance from 2004 right up till 2019. Now, we've broken it down, but remember that in many of these circumstances, they were in an alliance, 2019 as well as 2014 with the AIADMK. There was a sweep by the AIADMK back in 2014. 2019 didn't really perform well. But in each of these circumstances, they did focus a lot and depend on alliances. This time around, they've stitched what you may call a Gathbandhan of sorts, of smaller parties all coming together and supporting them, the AMMK, the PMK, the TMMK, all of them joining hands with the BJP. So a large focus is on how the BJP can perform on their own as well. Raghava Vasti is with us here in the studio as well. Raghav, good morning. What do you think? Do you think there's a chance of the BJP actually making a dent? It's not easy. Look, vote share everyone's talking about in Tamil Nadu, but seats? Seems impossible in Tamil Nadu. What do you think?
No, I think the BJP has won some seats in the past. The BJP has won Coimbatore in the 90s.
What, 1, 2?
And I think Kanyakumari was won in 2014, if I am not wrong.
Yeah.
So I think the BJP has been winning seats. I think the late Kanchi Ramji used to say one thing, that the पहला चुनाव जो है हारने के लिए, दूसरा हराने के लिए, तीसरा जीतने के लिए. So I think this is, in many ways, the first election wherein the BJP is fighting on its own steam. And double-digit vote share is definitely gettable. The other big factor is that, at least on social media, it seems that the opposition space has been completely vacated by whatever remains of the factions of the ADMK. So I think there is some scope for getting more and more traction.
You know, the BJP at this point is very clear that if they're going to actually make a dent in Tamil Nadu, it's going to be at the cost of the AIADMK. But that's not easy either. I'll just take this quickly back across to the election intelligence dashboard, because the point that Raghav has made about the AIADMK, I want to focus on that. There's a lot of questions about whether really the AIADMK has any mettle or any strength left in Tamil Nadu. Let's talk about that and look at really how the AIADMK, and you look at this particular map of how much green is there. This is a strength scan. In 29 seats, 10 of them, it shows, is reportedly safe for the AIADMK, 19 of them where the AIADMK is on a weak footing. Now, if you look at this, you may assume that, look, the AIADMK is in a place where it can actually win a whole lot of seats, that many of these could translate into wins for them. The problem is that in many of these constituencies, they are strong, yes, especially in West and South Tamil Nadu. So their vote share here will be high, but it doesn't necessarily translate into wins. So for the BJP to actually make inroads, they're going to have to eat into the AIADMK vote share. And if you look at this map, it's clear that it's not going to be easy. Perhaps in seats like Atheni, you could see that actually turning around, and that's because the BJP has fielded a TTV Dinakaran, who is, of course, with now the BJP alliance. So he could actually eat into the AIADMK. In seats like Coimbatore, it does get harder for the BJP to actually eat into the AIADMK vote share. They're counting on really the fact that the AIADMK strength is strong across Tamil Nadu, not Tamil Nadu. The BJP is counting on the PMK eating into the AIADMK vote share. South and West, they're doing it themselves and focusing on an AMMK doing it for them with OPS in Ramnad and Ramanathapuram as well. So those are some of, in fact, the seats that they're focusing on. T.S. Sudhir is back with me. Sudhir, if you look at really the BJP and their chances in this particular election, there's one seat many are talking about. One, of course, as Raghav pointed out, is Kanyakumari. The other is Tirunelveli. And this is something that, you know, the BJP actually is hoping will give them a strong chance. The fact that they fielded an Nayanar Nagendran there.
Well, absolutely. Nayanar Nagendran is a strong candidate in himself, and backed by the BJP. Obviously, that gives more heft to the BJP and the NDA's chances in Tirunelveli. Also, the fact that he comes from the dominant Tevar community. So, Nayanar Nagendran, OPS and TTV Dinakaran in the three constituencies of Tirunelveli, Ramanathapuram and Teni, obviously gives it a Teni domination. The only thing that the BJP and the NDA would be a little worried about is the reverse consolidation against the Tevar community, because the Tevars are seen as a dominant kind of a community, and that could lead to a reverse consolidation. Should that happen, and should that go into in favor of the DMK alliance, that could be a bit of a problem for the BJP candidates. But yes, Tirunelveli, Kanyakumari, Teni, Ramanathapuram, Dharmapuri in the north, and of course Coimbatore. These are the half a dozen seats that the NDA is really hopeful of making a dent, making a serious push as far as this particular election is concerned. A short word as far as the AIADMK is concerned. I am not really in agreement with the fact that the AIADMK has become rudderless of sorts in the last few years. Just look at what happened in 2021. Even after 10 years of anti-incumbency, they could actually manage to get 66 odd seats in the assembly. That was a credible performance. Yes, a majority of those seats came in the Congo belt, the western Tamil Nadu, winning 33 out of the 50 seats in that region. And even today, western region Lok Sabha seats, including a seat like Erode, is where the AIADMK would really fancy its chances. So don't rule out AIADMK, even if they are not able to make a dent in terms of number of seats, because EPS has made it pretty clear that he's really fighting for 2026, 2024 without having any kind of a national perspective, without having an alliance with either of the two national parties. The AIADMK obviously starts off on a weak note, but definitely the kind of campaign the AIADMK has run in the last 1 month, pretty credible, given the fact that before the start of the campaign, everyone had written off the AIADMK.
You look at the crowds quite simply at an EPS rally, and while that doesn't necessarily translate into votes, it shows that yes, the AIADMK is popular. And the biggest strength perhaps is the fact that you can't take away the legacy and the strength of the two-leaf symbol. At the end of the day, there are endless voters out there frustrated with the DMK who immediately look for the two-leaf symbol. So for the BJP, that really is a challenge, to replace that symbol in the minds of the voters, particularly the rural voters. Rasheed, do you believe that the BJP, when they constantly talk about eating into, the AIADMK vote bank, into their vote share, is kind of underestimating the AIADMK in Tamil Nadu?
Yes, Akshita, it has a lot to do with, a bravado and wishful thinking, because you need to consolidate at the ground level. It takes time. We must not forget that Tamil Nadu is one state where Rahul Gandhi's personal popularity ratings are much higher than of Narendra Modi. So if Mr. Modi gets that kind of traction, then it will start happening. But I don't see in this election, I don't see, the BJP, getting much traction in Tamil Nadu.
I think the vote share definitely will go up, and that's something they're definitely focusing on. There's no silver medal, agreed. But there's a long-term game. There's a long-term game.
Banks on moral victories all the time. I think
that's why they're in opposition.
They're in the opposition. Yes, that's true. You can't take away from that. And the fact that in Tamil Nadu, you can't take away from the fact that Rahul Gandhi is popular. He is very much popular there, Raghav.
No, I think his popularity ratings, like as Rasheed ji pointed out, as of now they are higher than Narendra Modi. And I think Tamil Nadu and Kerala are the only two states, and in Punjab also.
No, and,
so my point only is this though, that if the BJP fights this election well and you build a certain organizational machinery, then it will stand you in good stead for future battles. Because that's how you build strength. You build it over a period of time. That's my limited point, and I think that is why it is good that the BJP is running a campaign, as opposed to, let us say, what Rahul Gandhi is doing, wherein he's just outsourced this state where his party actually ruled for 15 years after independence, and they had stalwarts like Rajagopalachari and Kamaraj. He's just outsourced everything to the DMK. So I think that's a very negative sort of a strategy, and I don't think that the BJP should emulate it. I mean, even if we lose, we should fight as hard as we can. I mean, and this is a truism that is valid irrespective of which sphere of life you are referring to.
This is a point that's been raised before as well, Rasheed, that if you are popular in a state like Tamil Nadu, why didn't Rahul Gandhi go out there and campaign more? Like a Narendra Modi, who's, gone there so many times in the last few months to build a base. Why didn't Rahul Gandhi campaign more in Tamil Nadu if it's a state that he's familiar with, if it's a state that the Congress has a bastion in?
Yes, Akshita, but we must also remember Congress has been an old ally of DMK, and it is DMK vote and DMK vote share and DMK dominance that is there. And we must also understand the, the linguistic part of it. When in Tamil Nadu, anybody who speaks other than, a Tamil language has an inherent, disadvantage. If you're having a massive public meetings in rural areas and all, it does not find that kind of, traction.